In a world full of chaos and uncertainty, one truth remains steadfast: God's sovereignty over everything.
People often feel overwhelmed by their struggles, worried that their enemies might have an endless power to test their faith. But the reassuring promise is that God will never allow your enemies more time to challenge you than you can endure. This truth gives hope and strength to the weary, reminding them that their endurance has a divine limit set by the Creator. Imagine a scene where a person is facing relentless opposition, feeling drained and defeated. Suddenly, a voice echoes in their heart saying, "Remember that God is in control," and they feel a renewed sense of peace. Because just like he put a limit on how much the devil could test Job's faith, he also limits what your enemies can do. This isn't just a comforting thought, but a powerful reminder that the enemy is under divine authority. The story of Job teaches us that even when it seems the wicked triumph, their days are numbered and their time is limited. In Job 14:5 it is written, "Since his days are determined, the number of his months is with you. You have appointed his limits so that he cannot pass." This verse highlights that every wicked plan has an expiration date set by God himself. Similarly, in Exodus 23:22, it is stated that God will be an enemy to the enemies of his people, limiting their power. This means that no matter how fierce the attack, divine boundaries protect the faithful. The enemy's triumph today does not mean victory forever. Their time is fleeting. Their days are numbered because God is sovereign over the lifespan of all humans and wicked spirits. The enemy has a day. They cannot continue forever, but only for as long as God permits. Therefore, believers are encouraged to stand strong, knowing their endurance is supported by divine timing. Even if the enemy seems to gain ground temporarily, God's ultimate plan prevails. Because God has appointed limits, the adversary cannot surpass what has been ordained by divine authority. This assurance transforms fear into faith, doubt into trust in God's perfect control. It's a reminder that God's power governs every aspect of our lives, including the testing of our faith. The battles we face are temporary, rooted in divine sovereignty and limited by his eternal plans. The story of Job serves as a beacon of hope, illustrating that even in suffering, God's limits are guiding us toward victory. When the enemy tries to stretch your patience, remember that God's timing is perfect. He will never let the test go beyond what you can bear, because he cares deeply for you. In moments of trial, pause and declare, God is in control, and find strength in that truth. This declaration shifts your perspective from worry to faith, acknowledging his divine dominion. Know that no power on earth or in the spiritual realm can override God's limits and plans. Even on days when it feels like the enemy is winning, the truth remains. Their days are numbered and fixed by God. Every attack, every challenge is confined within divine boundaries that you cannot see, but can trust. Trust that God's sovereignty ensures your endurance isn't just possible, but guaranteed within his divine timetable. Your enemy's triumph is only temporary because the Lord has set their limits and will bring their days to an end. Remember, just like he limited Satan in the story of Job, he is actively limiting the power of your enemies today. Your faith is not in vain, because God's control over time is greater than any opposition you face. Stand firm, knowing that your endurance is under divine supervision, and victory is assured because of God's sovereignty. Claim the promise that your adversaries cannot persist beyond the limits God has established. In summary, trust in God's power over time, and be encouraged that your breakthrough is on its way. God's sovereignty over the lifespan of the wicked and the testing of your faith is a divine assurance rooted in his eternal authority. So keep your faith alive, knowing that his promises are true and his limits are unbreakable. The enemy's day will come, just as sure as God's promises. Their time is fixed and finite. In the face of trials, lift your voice and declare, God is in control, and watch your faith rise.